Welcome back to the channel, everybody. First few minutes of this video is going to be just bucking some logs for the fire pit using all three saws. Just kind of showing you how well they work. We've all had a couple tanks through them. You can see in the previous video they all showed pretty good amounts of chain stretch, but after the initial stretch they've seemed to be holding up pretty well. So just about freezing this morning, so let's try another round of cold starts. We'll start with the pink way again. I'm just getting this Pinkway tore apart just so I can get the borescope in there and look at things. And I was getting the carburetor off. I don't know if you can see down in there. There's a lot of junk down in that carburetor. I would not be surprised if there's quite a bit of scoring on the piston down in there. Not awfully impressed with the air filtration. I mean, the filter looks clean, but I'm guessing either it wasn't sealed on there properly or just flat out isn't sealing. Yeah, it might not have been on there properly. Here's a quick look at the spark plug out of the Pinkway. I don't know if you'll be able to see that very well, but looks like it's a nice, well-tuned, maybe just a touch rich, but that's okay. That doesn't bother me. I'd rather have it too rich than too lean. Maybe if I show it better like that. Hopefully you can see that. I can't really tell through the camera screen, but that's the spark plug. Welcome back to the bench. I've got the Pinkway all tore apart, and we'll take a gander down here at the top of the piston, see how that looks. Doesn't look too bad in there. Let's take a peek down the exhaust and see what we see there. I don't see any scoring. Kind of looks too far. This elasto start makes it hard to stop at the bottom. A little bit of scoring, not too bad. Some gunk up at the top. All in all, doesn't look too bad. Let's see what the bottom end looks like. Not too bad. Looks like a little bit of scoring on the far side. A couple scratches anyways. All in all, I'd say that doesn't look too bad at all. Let's see what the other ones look like. So here's a quick look at the spark plug out of the Yizbow. Looks pretty much the same as the Pinkway. A little bit of tan color to it, maybe just a touch darker. Might be a little rich, but all in all, I don't think I'd complain about that. And again, if you look down in the carb, there's quite a bit of fines down in there. That's definitely could use better air filtration. Okay, let's take a look at the top of the piston on this Yizbow. Doesn't look too bad in there. Let's see what it looks like in the exhaust. Don't see any scoring on the piston. Maybe a little bit right there. Looks pretty clean in there. Just a little bit of fine scratches. Nothing I'd be too concerned with. What's the bottom end look like? Looks like there might be some scratches in there, probably because the air filter is not the best. What do we got in here? pretty clean in there to me. Yep, I'm liking it. Well, let's see what the Weimars has to offer. So here's a quick look at the Weimars spark plug. Again, just a touch of gray on there, maybe a little tan. I'm by no means an expert at reading spark plugs, but I think that looks like a good mixture. And if we look down in the carb, this one's got just a little bit of fines down in there. Much cleaner than the other two. I don't know if you can see that very well. So let's take a look at the top of the piston in this Weimars. Looks pretty grody down in there. Well, let's see what it looks like through the exhaust port. Piston doesn't look too bad. There's that hole still. Focus on it here. Doesn't look like it's changed at all. I'm kind of surprised that it didn't wear out some more. Well, let's take a look down at the bottom end. Piston doesn't look bad. Looks like some scoring there on the back side. Well, I guess that one's pretty clean as well. Maybe not quite as clean as the other two, but I'm not going to complain about that. Well, before I close this episode out, I wanted to show the top ends of these once I got all the covers off. And see that this one's clearly way different than the other two, just in the casting of the cylinder itself. And then if we compare the Weimars to the Pinkway a little closer, they're similar, but you can, I don't know if you'll be able to see this as well, just a little bit different with the casting on top, and the thickness of the fins, and the boss sticking out for the spark plug, that kind of thing. So hopefully in the next video I'll get the cylinders pulled off. I want to get a measurement and see what the actual displacement is on all three of these. See what they look like inside, and maybe see about, check the squish, and maybe do a base gasket delete and maybe a little port job or something like that, and see if I can soup one of these up and maybe hot rod it and blow it up. I don't know, we'll see. But for now, this is probably where it's going to end for this little comparison between the three. So I hope you enjoyed this series. I hope you learned something, and if you're interested in getting one of these, leave a comment below and let me know which one you decided on and how it works out for you. I'll try to keep everybody posted on the longevity of these. I've only got a few tanks of gas for each one, but so far I'm impressed for a $100 saw. I know Neighbor bought one a few years ago. He had a tree they had to cut down, and it was going to cost significantly more to have it cut and removed rather than just dropped in place, just because the location of the tree and the way the property is laid out. So he bought himself an El Cheapo like this quite a few years ago, and saved him a ton of money. And he only used the saw that one weekend, and after that it's sat in his garage. So something like this would be perfect for it. No need to spend $500 or $1,000 on a saw for a couple hours of use. I mean, it's certainly, you're not going to get these for a professional setting, but a homeowner just needs one for a few hours a year or something like that. I think these would hold up just fine. Especially a lot of people that are going to buy something like this, they're not going to run ethanol-free fuel and going to just cut it, use it, and throw it in the shed for the winter, and next time they go to fire it up, it's going to be gummed up and nasty anyway, so they'll probably toss it out and buy a new one. But anyways, I'm actually impressed with these 3 little saws. So again, thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. Take care.